There's great power in prayer, even more in group prayer. This is the foundation of the Unity Movement and our church. Our prayer ministry has close to over 100 active participants supporting our community and the world. There's great synergy in us coming together consistently. Beyond our own personal experience with prayer, there's so much evidence to its impact on the collective consciousness. The Maharishi effect shows that if 1% of the population meditates, it produces measurable improvements in the quality of life for the whole population. The world is going through a lot of change. We must go to the unchanging realm of the divine and help co-create the best outcome for the most impactful event taking place. Let's join together to support this cause. Thank you for joining us. Your presence, your consciousness is summoned for humanity at this time. There's great power in prayer, even more in group prayer. This is the foundation of the Unity Movement and our church. Our prayer ministry has close to over 100 active participants supporting our community and the world. There's great synergy in us coming together consistently. Beyond our own personal experience with prayer, there's so much evidence to its impact on the collective consciousness. The Maharishi effect shows that if 1% of the population meditates, it produces measurable improvements in the quality of life for the whole population. The world is going through a lot of change. We must go to the unchanging realm of the divine and help co-create the best outcome for the most impactful event taking place. Let's join together to support this cause. Thank you for joining us. Your presence, your consciousness is summoned for humanity at this time.
Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there ain't no way around it. Everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm feeling good, like I should. I went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. I got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Oh, some days you wake up and nothing works, you feel surrounded. Gotta give your feet some gravity to get you grounded. Keep your things inside your ears just like the waves and sound it. I just say whatever, cause there ain't no way around it. Everyone falls down sometimes. You just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay, it's alright, it's okay. Ooh, everyone falls down sometimes, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm feeling good, like I should. I went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Feeling good, like I should. I went and took a walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Cause I got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So you all have won the day because you were here at the right time after the time change. Very good. Welcome to Unity of the Triangle. We are here today to raise the vibration in what we think, what we say, how we treat each other. At Unity here, we affirm our oneness with the divine and each other. And today's service, you'll be hearing a lot more about that. I want to let you know we've got some things coming up. Speaking of vibrations, we've got some vibrations happening this Thursday at our monthly open mic, which is always such a great time. I know I've got a few folks I'm going to be playing for that night. There's always some fun surprises and great fellowship, and please feel free to invite other folks from outside the church. It's definitely a community affair here. And something else very special that's happening in a few weeks. So Kevin Strike is our resident clarinet artist. He and I did a program last year, and we've got another one featuring some contemporary selections for clarinet and piano, highlighting some lesser-known composers, female composers. So it's going to be really amazing. Trust me. We've started working on that. So that is in 2 weeks, on the 17th, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right here. There'll be a love offering that benefits AIDS Services Alliance of the Carolinas. So we really hope to fill the sanctuary here, and there's always great musical stuff happening here. I just love this church. All right. And we've got our wonderful young people up here today. I'm going to hand it over to Tia, and I think they've got a song to share with us today.
Yay! First Sunday of the month. So, if you haven't seen this before, once a month, me and all of our lovely children share a joy song with you. So, if you wouldn't mind standing on up. And this is called the Turkey Song. So, this is a call and repeat song.
This is a call and repeat song.
So say as I say, and do as I do.
And do as I do.
All right. Ready? I went down to the river. And I took a little walk. And I found me some turkeys. And we had a little talk. And I washed those turkeys. And I hung them on the line. And said, we can have some turkeys. Oh, any old time. I went down to the river, and I took a little walk, and I found me some turkeys, and we had a little talk, and I washed those turkeys, and I hung them on the line, and said, we can have some turkeys. Oh, any old time. I went down to the river. And I took a little walk. And I found me some turkeys. And we had a little talk. And I washed those turkeys. And I hung them on the line. And said, we can have some turkeys. Oh, any old time. Thanks, guys. That was awesome. I love that. So let's go ahead and bless our youth, and we'll be moving on over. Together. Standing in faith, trust as you move through life, all is well. Thank you.
All right, hey, don't sit down just yet. Hey, how many folks here like the Beatles? All right, so we have a forgotten Beatles song that's going to get us going here. So we invite everybody to stand up and sing along with us. This is called The Word. Say the word and you'll be free. 1, 2.
Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? So fine, sunshine, it's the word love. In the beginning I misunderstood, but now I got it, the word is good. Say the word and you'll be free. Spread the word and be like me. Spread the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, sunshine, it's the word I hear it said in the good and the bad books that I have read. Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love. Now I know what I feel must be right. I'm here to show everybody the light. Give the word a chance to say that the word is just the way. It's the word I'm thinking of, and the only word is love. It's so fine, sunshine. It's the word love.
Say the word.
Say the word love. Say the word love. Say the word love. Say the sunshine. Say the word love. Please remain standing now and join us in the welcome song. Welcome into this place. Welcome into this open vessel. You desire to abide in the praises of your people. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise unto your name. Welcome into this place. Welcome into this open vessel. You desire to abide in the praises of your people. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise unto your name. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
As the prayer ministry stands, I'd like to remind you that right after the service from 1 to 3, we will be holding an election prayer vigil to tamp down any anxiety and to hold the highest consciousness that we can hold in this moment. It will be also live streamed. It will be for 2 hours. We'll do 30 minutes of meditation, a 10-minute break, and then 30 minutes again. So there'll be 3 30-minute sessions. And there hopefully will be a lot of you here holding that space and lifting up the consciousness for the entire world. So now let us pray. We turn within to the depth of our soul and harmonize with the living, loving presence of the divine. From the spiritual realm of absolute goodness and grace, we claim the highest consciousness we can hold in this moment. No matter what is occurring around us or in our country, the ever-present and unchanging peace of the divine is always within us. Like the eye of the storm, this sacred peace within us is our calm and safe refuge from the physical world. We stand in faith, undeterred by the actions, beliefs, or anxieties of others. As we hold these truths for ourselves, we in turn become vessels of wisdom and beacons of the Christ light for our neighbors, friends, family, community, country, and the world. We surrender all expectations, fears, and attachment to outcome, to divine will, accepting the unfoldment of our highest and best for all. We claim the power to be clear vessels of peace, love, hope, and acceptance as we become a catalyst for a shift in consciousness. We rest in the assurance that the universal truth of unconditional love radiates, harmonizes, and heals all, and so we let it be. Amen.
Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. As we move into meditation, let's allow ourselves to sit comfortably, adjust if we need to, and let the chair do the supporting. So now we can relax, move more deeply into a state of acceptance by starting with the body. Allow it to relax so that it can be in a receptive and open state. Relax the body. Let the breath be deep and slow. As we relax and go deeper, let us be grateful for our body in whatever condition it is right now. This amazing body allows us to experience this world, our feelings, our thoughts. Let the body relax and let us be grateful for it. Now, following the breath, let the breath be all we think about for a few moments so that our minds can stop wandering and just be in one place. The mind that is in one place is relaxed. So let us follow the breath as it comes in and goes out.
as the body and the mind relax. Let us begin to listen to the deep wisdom within us that comes through when we're still. So be still and know. And when we know, or when we've heard, let us hold it in our hearts as we sit together in profound silence.
Give us this day our daily bread. You said you would supply all my needs according to your riches. I have but to ask, and I shall receive. To go from here and share this love you gave to me, to show someone who's lost and help them find their way, the way to truth and faith, so they can be free like me, free like me. Lord, we are your love. Lord, we are your peace. Lord, we are your joy. This day.
Don't you just love the musicians here? They are great. I want to say before I get started that we're starting the Angel Tree. It's a project we do each year in which we take responsibility for about 30 kids who wouldn't have that much because they're in foster care. and we provide gifts for them. Some of those gifts are necessities, and some of them are for fun. And we have trees out there, and you can pick a card off that and then get it, and Nancy and Jane will organize it in such a way when they bring it back, they'll tell you everything you need to know while you're out there. We've done this for years, and for many people, they say it's the most satisfying thing they do at Christmas, is to make these gifts available to kids who wouldn't have much at this time of year. So consider that. Today, the title, the working title anyway, is In the Beginning the Word. And in the beginning doesn't mean like in a time sequence. It really means as a beginning, always a beginning, a principle, a way this is the way things start. It doesn't mean it started, it means this is the way things start. And the idea is that the word, which was translated from the Greek logos, the logos is the process of creation. And in the beginning, you start off with the logos, and in the end, you have manifestation. The logos is quite a complicated thought in Greek. When you look it up in a Greek, a dictionary that explains Greek words, it's actually a couple of pages. It's not the word. It doesn't mean W-O-R-D. It actually means a process. And I would like to kind of speak about that, but I would like to go back a week and talk about the nature of your awareness of your own divinity. And the way we were approaching it last week was that when you ask the question of yourself, who's having this experience, and stop long enough, perhaps you close your eyes, stop long enough to recognize the witness state that is in you, that is you, that the I am the one having this experience. When you have the I am experience, that one that is in the core of who you are, the central aspect of yourself, when you find that I am place, you have then found that place that in both the Old and New Testament begins to be another word for God. And the place where you are in the I am is the same place where you recognize your God nature. Because you're observing that which is out there. And this I am nature is here before any experience and is here after every experience. It is the one thing that continues through your life, and as such, it is the eternal aspect of you where the modulations and the variations of your life happen within its awareness. And so when you bring yourself into alignment as this is who I am, then you are aligning with that part of you which is eternal and everlasting. And now if you notice that when people do affirmations, they usually start off with the word I am. And most of us think of it in a small I am, which is very common. This little I am going to the store, I'm awake right now, I'm going to call you tomorrow. It is not exactly this powerful eternal self. But when we tap into that powerful eternal self, it sounds like I am again. And when we create from that by saying, I am healthy, I am whole, I am free, whatever your positive thought is, when you say that, you're calling upon the power of the great I am, that universal consciousness that connects everything in existence. I was given a book last week titled, Consciousness is Everything. And as many of us have been grown up in the scientific world that is starting with the underlying belief that matter is primary and consciousness is an epiphenomenon that came late in the game, that comes on top of everything. When we have grown up in that, to hear that consciousness is everything reverses that, claims the opposite, starts from another place. It starts from the idea that everything begins and is held in and exists in consciousness. And if you come back to your own direct experience, tell me something that you know that isn't in consciousness. Tell me something that happens that you happen to have any experience of that's not surrounded, created by, and remembered by consciousness. And so when you think of your senses are going out there and bringing information into your mind, but it is consciousness that is holding all of that. And whatever you see out there is actually known in consciousness. And so it's not a big leap to say consciousness is primary. Consciousness is what's the primary thing. If that is the case, then to adjust what you see in the world around you is a process of adjusting consciousness, coming from that direction rather than manipulating the world out there. And if you're in the process of adjusting consciousness, I think it's fundamentally important that you start with the right idea. I mean, if you're going to mess with it, shouldn't you pick the best idea possible? Shouldn't you pick an idea that will not be causing you harm, that will be allowing yourself to flow with the course of creation in the most positive way, the most helpful, the most beautiful way? Now, when you wanted to know who's having this experience, you sat in quiet contemplation and listened and felt into your own experience, and you came to this phrase, I am. And in like matter, when you want to know what should I be intending in this world, you do it not by saying, well, what am I missing in this world? What don't I feel happy about? How have I been disappointed? Or who am I angry at? Or what's this discomfort? Can I fix it? Instead, a wiser way of doing it is to sit and still the mind. Because the mind is really a kind of a reactive machine, if you've noticed it, especially if you first start to meditate and it's zipping around. It's just reacting to what the data that has come into it and the thoughts it's had, and it's just in the habit of moving around. And we call it monkey mind, and they say the longer you meditate, the more often you'll find a place of peace. But right in the beginning, it's just going everywhere. But if you can sit, and perhaps you use a mantra, or perhaps you use your breath, or perhaps you just practice incredible stillness. As you do that, then the mind begins to quiet as well. And as it quiets, you begin to walk closer to the origin of thought and experience, closer to that I am state. And as you sit there, then what comes out of that is the beginning of an idea that can be made manifest through your cooperation with it. That can then become something that doesn't create karma for you, because it came out of pure awareness, purity, clarity, direct connection with all that is. And while you are never, ever separate from all that is, and the same consciousness that has created the universe and beats your heart is you also, as we all know, we also have a ton of thoughts which are definitely kind of very far from the core of that, right? So as you sit in this deep sense of quiet, before you start this idea of I want to make things different, you sit in this steady, still place. Or as the Old Testament writer would say, be still and know. Now it has a predicate on the end of that I am God. But let's start with just be still and know. And then from there, you're listening to that, or you're paying attention to that, or you're quiet and not saying your thoughts, your little thoughts. You're sitting right there until something comes through. It can be quite silent, actually, quite quiet. It's the still, small voice, as it's often said. But really another translation of that is in the silence. And so it's almost out of silence that you hear something, or as silence you hear it. But those are the thoughts that will take you toward your manifestation, your creation, that align you with the best possible outcome. That isn't just what you happen to want, or your jealousy compels, or your envy wants, or your fear asks you to have, or your hunger, or your sense of lack. It is more from the source itself. And that process of sitting in quiet is the beginning of a nice, clean process of manifestation. And that's the beginning of the Word. And so you listen. And as you listen, you can then amplify. I was in Michael Gadway's meditation class, and if y'all haven't gone to Michael Gadway anything, Michael Gadway's kind of an event here. He's a very good teacher. And part of what he draws on is the ancient Vedic wisdom. And he had a very Vedic explanation of what I just said. Trust me, it was pretty smart, and I couldn't remember every word he said. But essentially he said the same thing. Go to pure consciousness first. And out of pure consciousness, then begin to recognize what it is that is in being invited, and agree to it, and then amplify it by imagining it. And after you have imagined it, begin to feel it. Now, when most of the New Age, New Thought, manifesting teachings say first, imagine it, picture it as best you can. And some of us don't picture very well. Have you noticed? Make a picture of that. You do your best. No matter how good you are, give it your best shot. You do your best shot of picturing it. And all of that kind of sets up what is really the most important thing, which is this, that you feel it. That essentially you feel it as though it were already real. And this is the critical part of that. When you see it, good. When you feel it, better. And as you feel it, then you begin to create a different state in your awareness, in your consciousness. Now you can think of yourself as pure consciousness that can manifest in different states. So you've been in a bad state. Ever been there? I'm in a bad state. You don't want to be there, but you're there. And everything that you touch turns to rust. Right? You've had that experience? And then you've been in a state where everything you do turns to gold. Right? And you almost can't make a mistake because you're in the state in which that is coming to you. It is, and because you're in that state, it is reflected of it. And so many people complain about people because they're kind of crummy people at the time. Right? You know, our favorite one to complain about used to be, our favorite one to complain about is Hitler. That he is like such a great exception. But he just represents a state of consciousness. A state of consciousness that was very detrimental to the world, for sure. But a state of consciousness that those of us who have flipped around in states know we could land in there if we weren't careful, if we hadn't been lucky, or if we hadn't been well trained, or something. But it is possible for us to be there. But there are other states which are actually glorious, states of awareness in which you are more like Gandhi, or you're a state in which you're more like Jesus, or you're like Buddha. You're in different states. And part of this listening and hearing is an invitation to be in the highest state, just not the next state. Right? It's to be in North Carolina than Texas. I mean, you know what I mean? In a different state. We're broadcast around the country, but I don't think there are that many in Texas that are. And we all move through states even in our normal awareness. So you know this. I want to go back to this hierarchy of states, of emotion, just the emotional aspect of it. You know, they say that the lowest level of creating what you want, or the emotions, is to feel despair or fear, right? That's the worst. And sometimes you get above that by, let's say, you feel anger, right? That's up a few notches, anger. Now, fear is down at the bottom, and not the next one, but as you move through it, anger is up the scale. And I've been listening to different media out, you know, as you know, in this country right now we have not so much news as we have opinion or propaganda masquerading as news. And one of the best ways to get people off their keister is to move them from fear or depression into anger. First step. And so one of the things I think that's happening in at least one of these outlets is it's really, really good at getting people angry. But it gets them moving, and they feel better because they were depressed before. And another one is here's another one that's up the hill a little bit. Blame, right? These outlets are looking to either get you nervous and afraid, or to give you someone to blame or to be angry. But you're not learning much in there that is going to help you create the world that you want. In the last couple of days, I voted. I voted early, and I looked at all the signs, and I walked in there, and I did my vote. And then I came back out, and I said, you know, I'm done. I've voted. And I'm not listening to any of this on either side at all. And my mood went from pretty sour, at least politically, to pretty happy. Like, I've done my part, and my intention is to focus my imagination on an outcome that will be happy for me and everybody else. Sit with that. Sit with that. And you know, if there's anything to manifesting your own reality, do you not think that each side condemning the other is actually helping the other be created? And so instead of spending our time in condemnation, anger, and blame, we could move to a higher state, move toward a state of peace, and move to the state of love, move to the state of joy. And when you're in that state, love and joy, you're so much closer to the divine that as you think a thing, so you have much more power and capacity. And so really, if you want to change the world, don't stay down at the bottom. Do you know, it's like it's so easy to stay down there feeling depressed or angry or blaming or whatever. Let's move up. And you know, we're going to do this meditation this afternoon. This meditation is really just an invitation for you to generate the state of being you want to be rather than the state of being you have fallen into. Because if you have been paying attention to the news or to propaganda, you're going to be anxious about the other side. Whichever side you're on, you're going to be anxious about them because I'm telling you, they are evil. Right? As a parenthetically, one of the things I heard, I don't want to get too deep into this, but briefly, everything was going along pretty well until someone said, Puerto Rico is an island of trash. And suddenly Puerto Ricans were angry and were going to do something about it. They were going to go a different way. The very same week, I heard a study group of men saying they were so tired of being lumped into toxic masculinity, and that they were the problem, that they were insulted by that. And I realized that the fragility of our egos, it's much more important to either side than facts. And so if your ego has been tripped, perhaps it's not really the facts that are bugging you so much as the fact it affects the way you think about yourself. So this identity politics that we're practicing so much right now is really about massaging those egos in a certain way that they do what you want to. But is that who you want to be guided by? Your ego? Rather, wouldn't it be better in politics, in conversation with another person, with loved ones, with yourself, that instead of going off that, we sit and listen for the still small voice that is the voice of the divine, which isn't your ego. And from that, we choose the direction of our desire for manifestation. So we feel, sit, steady ourselves before we go about mouthing anything. And then we feel it after we have visualized it in such a way that it feels real, that it is so real that we change states, that instead of we're sitting in lack or something that we don't want to have happen, we're sitting in the very state of having and appreciation. And we're hanging out there long enough that that becomes our state. And then when we say the word, the creative word, we affirm it. Now we are on very firm ground. The firm ground of being guided. Or as Jesus said, it is not my words, but the Father who speaks from within me. We speak from there. And then we speak with authority because we have felt it and we have seen it and it is real for us, and we say a thing and it is so. And I think one of the tricks about manifestation is not to always think about manifestation as getting the thing, which can be nice, but rather to get the experience. Rather than trying to claim a car, try to claim freedom. Rather than talking about how much money or the job you want, think of the idea of abundance and living in a very open and powerfully capable world. One where you have enough and generosity is your nature. Think of those things because they are of a caliber in which there is no negative. They are of a caliber in which any way it comes to you will be acceptable. They are of a caliber that do not restrict your good, but open the door to more. So let me review a little bit. Your core is consciousness. Your totality is really residing in consciousness. That totality is the same consciousness that has created the universe, that is beating your heart and helping you digest food, that is growing the seed into the plant, that has allowed all that is to be there. That is the core of who you are. And while many things can be held in consciousness, some of them are quite helpful. And you will know those by tuning into that consciousness first, And from there, moving out into the idea of what you want to see and seeing it, what you want to feel and feeling it, and what you want to be and saying it. And the final icing on the cake is to trust and let go. Trust, if you don't trust and let go, it doesn't go out. And once you have done trust and letting go with those previous steps, then you have spread the seed into the nature of things as they are to create the outcomes that you wish to have. Let us pray. The most important thing here is to align with your God self, your true nature, that which has always been there and always will be, before you were born and after. Feel, sense, lean into, and listen for the word from that, the vibration, the hint. And as we listen, as we feel, as we surrender into that, we can also begin to trust that all is well just as it is. And that we can affect because we are consciousness. And so we choose the highest and best experience we can have. We visualize it. We feel it. We speak it. And so it is. And so it is. Amen.
This next song is a little bit of a thought experiment. Wrote it many years ago. I wonder. I wonder what would the world be like? 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 What would the world be like if we all should choose, if we all could choose, if we all would, if we all would choose to remain, to remain, to remain, to remain. I wonder, what would the world be like if we should all choose to remain absolutely silent rather than to utter one single word that doesn't raise the vibration, raise the vibration, that doesn't raise the vibration. Raise the vibration, raise the vibration, raise the vibration, that doesn't raise the vibration, raise the vibration, raise the vibration, raise the vibration, raise the vibration of the world.
Oh, how beautiful to see all of you here today. I am grateful. So, dear ones, I am Janine Nicholson, Vice President of the Board of Trustees, as well as a prayer chaplain, and I've been blessed to have the opportunity to speak to you today and make these announcements. So, hopefully you picked up one of these at the front desk, get one afterwards. If you did not, it has the details on it. So first and foremost, our Beatitudes teaching from Reverend Michael Gadway will be after church next Sunday. The place was packed the last time he had a class, so please register in advance because we would like to have it set up to have room for everybody. I think it's going to be outstanding. Every class I've taken with him has opened my awareness and deepened my awakening, which is kind of the whole point as far as I'm concerned. So the next thing is, it's also on here, we're working with our millennials now, that younger group than some of us might currently be. We're having a group meeting next Sunday at 12:30 in the meditation room, and we'd love for anyone in that age bracket to come and get a chance to connect with the others of your peers and find ways that you can contribute to our vibrant community. There will be child care available for this meeting, so please let folks know if you want to do that. The next thing that's also on our announcement sheet is this new group that's forming. It's called Worthy. And this is a group of LGBTQ+ communities, allies, and advocates that are going to start meeting. The first meeting is going to be next Monday in a week, November the 11th. And anyone who is welcome who are wanting to be part of this community. So it'll be 7 o'clock the second Monday of every month. So looking forward to that. And then the last one is Reverend Anna has wonderful classes that she teaches. She was getting ready to start a new batch, but that's been postponed. So stay tuned for when it is offered again. You don't want to miss that. Okay, so now comes my pitch for why we're here at this time. One of the things we are experiencing, as Newsom so beautifully referenced, is the anxiety we may be feeling. With all the conflict going on in the outer world right now, sometimes it feels like we're caught up in an Old Testament battle between good and evil. It has been downright scary at times. So this lead up to the election, it's a time for us to come together, and I hope that all of you will join us for this meditation at 1 o'clock. But I want to focus on our blessings, that what we have that we appreciate. We are so blessed to be able to come together here with our peaceful tribe of like-minded souls. When we come together, our spirits are uplifted by this inspiring music and prayer. Our consciousness is lifted higher as Newsom guides us in awakening to our true divine nature. We are here to hold the high watch as we affirm the highest and best outcome for all involved. Exactly what Newsom was saying. So I have been in this beautiful spiritual community week after week for more than 20 years, and I come back as often as I can to refill my own personal tank with light and love so that I can maintain my personal peace no matter what's going on out in the world. We are all so blessed to be able to meet together each week in this beautiful temple of unity. It came together through a common vision and a lot of hard work. Our congregation contributed more than $1 million to be able to erect our spiritual home, but we have a pretty sizable mortgage that we have to pay off month after month, just like you do on your house. As a member of the Board of Trustees, I see how much it costs to keep paying the monthly overhead for this beautiful facility. These funds don't just fall from the sky like manna from heaven. Material world dollars have to be manifested from our personal funds, our bank accounts. And I consider my donation every month as an essential line item in my personal budget, right there with the mortgage and the electric bill. Every year I increase my contribution a little bit more to show my appreciation and gratitude for all that I receive here. And I encourage you to do the same. With my time, my talents, and my treasure, I vote for this beloved sacred space to continue to be here for many years to come. Now, we're moving into this part. Okay, so those of you who are attending online, go to our website, unitytriangle.org, and click on the orange button to donate. If you're here in person, we have card readers out in the lobby at the welcome desk. Or, as I do, sign up for automatic giving so that you don't have to think about it. It's just built into your budget. And we thank all of you who continue to make your donations to support our spiritual community. We are here because of you. Will the greeters please stand to bless our gifts? And let's bless our gifts with this affirmation shown on the screen. Together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you.
Wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let the love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. 2, 3, and.
I hope you got something out of today's service. We intend to bring you things that will help you in your life become more of who you want to be, give you the freedom of forgiveness and the hope of expectancy that your life will unfold in a way that brings you joy, happiness, and is a contribution to the world. If you would like to contribute to this ministry, please go to unitytriangle.org, hit the donate button, and it will lead you into an easy way of doing that. We thank you for your attention and look forward to seeing you again here.